Just make sure you end up on the nice list unless naughty is your thing. Naughty's your thing, right, Maxwell?
Of course, naughty is nice. I saw this girl wear that shirt. Naughty is nice. It's
What does
kind of
that
weird.
mean?
I don't know. It says naughty is nice.
Huh.
Like a like a like a like a sexualized naughty is nice. It's weird. That song. You're just making a list. If you're naughty or nice, some shit like that.
Uh,
Santa.
not really.
How does it go? He's making a list. I forgot how to. I forgot how the Santa song goes.
I think I'd be more shocked if you remembered it.
No, it goes up because Santa makes a fucking list of all these kids who have been naughty and nice, and then if you're nice, you get a gift. If you're naughty, like you don't get shit. So, so this girl was wearing this shirt. It says, naughty is nice, which is like
Huh.
weird. Like
Yeah.
it was weird.
Maybe she just wants to get her Christmas presents.
Oh my god.
Even if she's not good, like most spoiled kids these days. You think
Uh,
how many parents you think put coal in their kids' stockings when they're naughty? Or do you think they just give them presents anyway? I think most kids are so spoiled these days that they're going to get their presents no matter what, and they know it, so they don't have to behave. What's your take on that?
I don't know. But by the way, did you? I remember like growing up with Santa Claus. I think I believed in Santa Claus till like 6 or 7 or something like that. And I don't know. It was just kind of weird. It was kind of fun though. Like believing in Santa Claus for like that. uh,
Do you still believe in the tooth fairy?
um. Speaking of that, like my tooth is falling out. I've been.
Are you gonna get a dollar when it falls out? Are you gonna leave it under your pillow?
I'm gonna put it under a pillow, see what happens. No, I don't. I never believed in the tooth fairy, but like I think I believed in Santa Claus for like a year or two because I someone told me about it when I was 5, or maybe I was 4. I don't know, and then I just stopped believing on it like in it until like 5.5 or something. I forget. Because some other kid told me like, "Yo, Santa Claus is not real."
That's funny.
Wait,
All right.
what do you think about what do you think about that? By the way, like telling kids, you know, it's about Santa Claus.
Parents tell their kids about Santa Claus and it's all a lie. What was your point with that?
Yeah, well, I was just curious. Well, I mean, I that it shouldn't be done, but I don't know. Possibly a lot of parents or like are still. Actually, it's not that popular now right now. I don't know. Maybe they still do it. Like tell their kids that there's Santa Claus and you should go to bed and
Why would you
put
why
up cookies and milk on the table so Santa can come down the chimney and put gifts under the trees.
why would you think it's not that popular? It's probably more popular now than ever before.
Oh, I don't know because I don't talk to kids about Christmas. I don't know.
So why would you think it wasn't that popular if you don't know?
I don't know. It's just my assumption. Not an assumption, but it was just a guess. Like it's like because I don't hear about it. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not a kid anymore. Now I don't talk to 5-year-old friends that believe in Santa Claus. By the way, I had a cousin that believed in Santa Claus. So like these were sisters, and they believed in Santa Claus till they were like 12. I'm like, what the?
All right, so
It's kind
part
of
of
like
the
disturbed.
actually I've met adults who were on the fence.
On the fence, like, well, how did they respond?
Well, they were
Were
just
they like,
like, they're like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Santa's not real, but there's like a chance that he could be. I mean, I guess it's possible. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's what the stuff they said. But
oh my
so like
god,
they were like, I guess 90% no, 10. I mean, not really on the fence
yeah,
like
yeah,
50-50. It was like
you know, you,
90%,
you know,
10%.
yeah, you know what's weird? Like, I feel kind of, I'm always in a dilemma. Like if I ever come across that, like, let's say, like, you come across like a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old, like, and they kind of believe in Santa, and then like, it's not your kid. Like, what do you think about, like, how do you think this kid is gonna know? Is it
I
more
think
embarrassing? Wait, check this out. Is it more embarrassing for that kid to learn from school when everybody makes fun of him that Santa Claus is not real, or is it? I don't know, man. Like, I think it's the parents' responsibility. I mean, I don't know. It's gotta. When do you tell them?
Well, what if the parents aren't 100% sure whether Santa's real or not?
But I mean, I can only imagine like my cousins who I mean, who someone must have made fun of them like when they were 12, 13. I can't believe you believe Santa Claus. Santa Claus isn't real. And then they learned that when they were like 6 or 7, like they learned out of it. So like I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. I don't think
Well,
I
as
think
part of
Santa's
the
I think Santa's a bad idea. I think you just stick to the tree, the star and the ornaments and gift giving and family
oh,
and
the tree that we just discussed, the
yeah,
sacrifice
yeah,
of
the, the yeah the
soul. You
most
want
evil one,
everybody.
the most yeah yeah the most evil one. You give yourself to Satan and gift give. That's it. We're good to go.
So some people speculate that part of the conspiracy of telling lies to children so that they will believe those in authority that are lying to them, including their own parents, hypocritically, because the parents will say it's really bad to lie. You shouldn't lie. And then they lie to them under the disguise of, oh, it's for the greater good. Is this setting up an entire generation, as has been done many times, for government indoctrination under the servitude of Satan, the father of lies? I mean, that's
Yeah,
another thing
totally.
we didn't really discuss is like Satan is all about evil and lying. So if Santa Claus is a lie, like what's the representation there?
For some reason, this just came into my head. Like, if you were like a 6-year-old kid or a 5-year-old kid, whatever, would you rather your dad tell you that Santa Claus isn't real, or would you rather catch him dress, dress as Santa Claus or something, or put gifts under the tree? Like,
Yeah, I must have been a really weird kid because with a lot of stuff, I didn't really believe or disbelieve. I'm like, okay, they're saying this giant fat man flies around.
yeah,
It's like even when I was like 5, even when I was about 5 and I didn't know if it was true or not,
yeah.
I didn't I don't remember
Yeah,
thinking,
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if I actually really believe like a human around with a deer in a sleigh. Like
well,
it didn't make sense to me.
as far as I can remember, I just didn't know, so I didn't believe or disbelieve. All I knew is that
Yeah,
the presents were real.
yeah.
I didn't really know how they got there. I'm like, because even my parents must have said weird stuff because I think I remember, maybe not from my parents, but I remember hearing Santa might not come himself. He has people working for him that
Oh
leave
yeah,
the presents.
I've
Do you
heard
remember
that.
hearing?
I've heard
Remember
that
hearing
before.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird. Like they did a lot to confuse the issue.
Uh,
So I think I remember thinking, are is Santa sending workers to people's houses? Do they just walk in? Do like they drive a car and they like walk in and leave a present? Like it was kind of weird, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if he was flying around in the sleigh or
you
not.
know, you know, I, what's weird because in okay, when I was like little, like I didn't see a lot of chimneys in my neighborhood, so it just didn't make sense to I don't know. It just didn't make sense, the Santa uh myth or the Santa story. I mean,
Well, none of it made sense, and I remember even considering Santa's motivations. I was kind of like, why is he getting all these gifts? That might be expensive. Like, why is he getting all these gifts and just
yeah.
randomly giving them
Yeah,
away?
yeah, then where does he get the money or that kind of thing? Like, I don't know. It was just weird. I don't think I really thought of it that in depth. Like, I just thought there was some Santa that walks around at festivals and gives away, a couple of gifts, and kind of sit by him and get your picture taken or whatever.
It's kind of weird when you look at it at the big picture. It's just promoting materialism. Like you go to, I want this physical object, and this physical
Yeah,
object will bring me happiness. And then you're kind of
yeah,
bribed. Well, you have to behave, and then you get. It's like all of it's kind of like indoctrination, subservience,
yeah.
training.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated that whole you have to behave yeah, if you're good. I fucking hated that shit. I don't know if I ever really followed that. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I was always a good
you
kid,
definitely
but
didn't
why the
follow.
fuck do I have
You
to
definitely
be
didn't
good?
follow. You definitely didn't follow. Pay attention, Maxwell. Like, listen, Maxwell. You definitely didn't follow any of that.
Oh, dude, well, I never got any gifts, so maybe it was based on maybe it was based on that.
Oh, that's
If you paid attention, you'll get a lot of gifts. But
All right, so this article mentioned the legend of La Befana, which actually isn't known. I don't think it's too popular. I'm going to go over it real quick. In Italy, the legend of La Befana is popularly told around the time of the Epiphany. What does a Catholic holiday have to do with modern paganism? Well, La Befana happens to be a witch. According to folklore, on the night before the Feast of Epiphany, in early January, Befana flies around on her broom delivering gifts. Much like Santa Claus, she leaves candy, fruit, or small gifts in the stockings of children who are well behaved throughout the year. On the other hand, if a child is naughty, he or she can expect to find a lump of coal left behind by La Befana. La Befana's broom is for more than just practical transportation. She also will tidy up a messy house and sweep the floors before she departs for her next stop. This is probably a good thing since La Befana gets a bit sooty from coming down chimneys and it's only polite to clean up after oneself. She may wrap up her visit by indulging in the glass of wine or a plate of food left by parents as thanks. Some of the stories of La Befana involve a woman who is searching but unable to find the newborn infant Jesus. In some Christian legends, it is said that Befana had been visited by the three magi, or wise men, on their way to visit the baby Jesus. It's said that they asked her for directions, but Befana wasn't sure how to find the newborn infant. However, being a good housekeeper, she invited them to spend the night in her tidy little home. When the Magi left the next morning, they invited Befana to join them in their quest. Befana declined, saying that she had too much housework to do, but later changed her mind. She tried to find the wise men and the new baby, but was unable to now. She flies around on her broom, delivering gifts to children. Perhaps she is still searching for the infant Jesus. Other stories depict La Befana as a woman whose children have died in a great plague, and she follows the wise men to Bethlehem. Before leaving her house, she packs up some simple gifts, a doll that belonged to one of her children, and a robe sewn from her own wedding dress. These plain gifts are all she has to give to the infant Jesus, but she is unable to locate him. Today, she flies around delivering gifts to other children in hopes of finding him. Betsy Woodruff at Slate describes yet another version of the story in which King Herod's soldiers kill her son. Delusional with grief, she leaves her home to search for him. Instead, she finds baby Jesus and gives him all her son's belongings. He blesses her, and now she travels the world blessing good children and punishing bad ones. Some scholars believe that the story of La Befana actually has pre-Christian origins. The tradition of leaving or exchanging gifts may relate to an early Roman custom that takes place in midwinter around the time of Saturnalia. Befana may also represent the passing of the old year, with the image of an old woman to be replaced by a new year. Today, many Italians, including those who follow the practice of Stregheria, celebrate a festival in La Befana's honor. What do you think about that? Have you ever heard of the La Befana myth of the witch flying around in a broomstick, going down chimneys and delivering gifts or coals?
No, I never heard about that, but I heard about the witch, and the like Halloween stuff.
Wait, what? You
I
heard
never
about
heard of.
you
I
heard
never
about
heard of a.
witches? You know what a witch in general is, but you've never heard of La Befana.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Wait. Is that a popular thing?
It's not that popular. That's why I went over it.
Oh, okay.
So let's get into the Santa Claus conspiracy. But first, let's differentiate between Sinterklaas and Santa Claus. Sinterklaas and Santa.
Wait, there's three types.
There's two. There's
Okay.
Sinterklaas and Santa Claus.
Okay.
So the Sinterklaas and Santa Claus stories are well known and date back to the 4th century bishop Nicholas of Myra, now Demir, in southern Turkey. Legends of his generosity and kindness spread over Europe, and he became the patron saint of many groups, cities, and even countries. December 5th was the eve of his death and was commemorated with an annual feast in many European countries. Following the Protestant Reformation in the 16th century, some countries merged the St. Nicholas celebration with Christmas, but others stuck to December 5th. The characteristic features of benevolence and the exchange of gifts obviously hark back to legends around St. Nicholas. Local folklore was added, which resulted in different flavors for the celebrations in various countries. Dutch settlers in the New World celebrated St. Nicholas's Eve in the 17th century, and those celebrations evolved through contacts with immigrants of other nationalities. Concerning the transformation to Santa Claus, the importance of the author Washington Irving in 1809 and the 1823 poem A Visit from St. Nicholas, commonly known as The Night Before Christmas, is well documented, as are the drawings of Thomas Nast in the 1860s and the Coca-Cola advertisements in 1930s. The Dutch Sinterklaas, together with his helpers, is believed to distribute his presents on the evening of December 5th. He may also pay visits during the evenings and nights before the 5th of December, sometimes leaving candy in shoes set before the fireplace. But the main event is the evening of the 5th. Once delivered, the presents are unwrapped during that same evening. So that's pretty interesting. So Sinterklaas is the Dutch version, and Sint arrives amid great fanfare in mid-November before spending a couple of weeks parading around superciliously and tantalizing children with candy. So Sint is thought to be the incarnation of Saint Nicholas, who has been revered since the Middle Ages. Santa Claus is kind of a mix of Sinterklaas, Father Christmas, and Saint Nicholas. The appearance of Sinterklaas is more religious. He has a red papal gown and a white bishop's alb and a red mitre emblazoned with a cross. His golden crozier with curl detail is inspired by the pastoral staff carried by high-ranking church prelates. Sinterklaas charters a boat from Spain and then rides an elegant white-gray horse called a marigot when on Dutch soil. Santa Claus, conversely, travels by sleigh with 9 flying reindeer. Those reindeer must be in shape to be able to get Santa Claus from all those places, because Santa's pretty big, right?
Yeah,
How much do you think Santa Claus weighs?
300 pounds maybe.
He kind of looks bigger than that.
Uh,
I
well,
would
I don't know.
I would guess closer to 400.
Yeah,
Those reindeers must be jacked. So Sinterklaas apparently keeps track of well-behaved children in a large book. Now, check out how dark this is. Naughty children are supposedly snatched in their sleep, stuffed into sacks, and disappear. Is this some kind of like weird ancient human trafficking operation? I mean, that's dark.
that's crazy.
Sinterklaas doesn't leave coal. He just takes bad children away, like the boogeyman.
Wow. I guess parents used it as a tactic to keep them well behaved.
Some of the legends say the child is carried away and turned into a cookie. In parts of France, Saint Nicholas is accompanied by a cannibalistic child killer called Père Foutard, or the Whipping Father. He flogs children who have been naughty and dispenses lumps of coal, leaving Saint Nick to bestow gifts to the good. In village parades at this time of year, sinister Père Foutards grabs children and whisk them away. That's dark.
Yeah, that's some crazy dark shit, man.
In
That's
parts of
insane.
Austria, when St. Nicholas makes a house call, he's accompanied by a demon named Krampus. While St. Nick rewards good children, Krampus beats the bad ones. Wearing fierce-looking masks, horns, and animal skins, he overturns tables, sets fire, grabs adults and children to spank them while St. Nicholas watches from the sidelines. Krampus is also a film. In Central European folklore, Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic figure described as a half-goat, half-demon during the Christmas season who punishes children who have misbehaved. Oh man, that's dark. So Krampus is mostly known in Austria and German-speaking Alpine region. He is a devilish figure who portrays Satan. December 5th is Krampusnacht, when Krampus reigns. In the real world, people might attend Krampus balls, or young men from the local Krampus group might don carved wooden masks, cowbells, chains, and elaborate costumes to run through the town of Krampuslof. Krampus Run, frightening and sometimes beating bystanders. According to legend, Krampus will spend the night visiting each house. He might leave bundles of sticks for bad children, or he might hit them with the sticks instead. He might toss them into a sack or basket on his back and then throw it in a stream, or he might straight up take them to hell. The next day is Nikkelstag, St. Nicholas's Day, the same Nicholas whose Dutch name Sinterklaas evolved into Santa Claus. In other words, it's time for presents for all the little girls and boys, that is, the ones who haven't already been beaten, damned, or drowned. Krampus may be a monster, but he pals around with Santa. Originally, Krampus was a purely pagan creation said to be the son of hell from Norse mythology, but he got grafted onto Christian tradition as sidekick of St. Nicholas, similar to figures like Zwarte Piet in the Netherlands and Nech Reprucht in Germany. Since the 17th century, the two have been linked in a sort of Christmassy yin-yang, with Krampus as St. Nick's dark companion. Saint Nick brings the gifts and Krampus brings the pain. They sound like a pro wrestling tag team. Krampus revelers will hit, push, and whip spectators at their parades. That's pretty funny. Here's a description from a tourist. The narrow streets in the old city section of Salzburg were packed with pedestrians as the Krampusay stomped through. Many people were caught unaware and reacted with terror. Some would flee and try to seek refuge in a shop or restaurant, only to be pursued by a determined Krampus. With so many easy targets, we managed to escape largely unharmed. At times we were chased, jostled, and struck, but compared with the brutality we witnessed, it was obvious we had been spared the full brunt of what Krampus could muster. The writer went to camp sloths in 3 cities and described savage beatings to people's thighs and shins, as well as a Krampus chasing down and sitting on a teenager. But despite the fear and bruises, it's all in good fun, and hey, at least they aim for the legs. That's pretty fun. That's pretty funny. Can you see that catching on in like America?
No.
Everybody would be sued and in prison.
Huh.
Here's another thing that's really weird. The appearance of Krampus varies, but he often has one human foot and one cloven hoof. Half man, half devil? Yeah, that's weird. Krampus has also been a fixture on Austrian holiday greeting cards since the 1800s, where he's shown pursuing women or menacing children. Some Austrian households had year-round decor meant to remind kids to stay good or Krampus would get them. In 1958, article about the Krampus legend in Styria, a state in southeast Austria, reports that Krampus would deliver gold-painted bundles of birch sticks to children, small versions of the bundle of twigs he would use to beat people. The families would hang the birch twigs on the wall for the rest of the year as decoration and to remind kids to stay in line. The article rather primly notes that the twigs are hung particularly in those houses where the behavior of the children merits the application of corporal correction. Have you heard child beating description be used as corporal correction?
Huh. That's crazy.
Between 1934 and 1938, when Austria was under fascist rule, Krampus was seen as a symbol of sin, anti-Christian ideals, and social democrats. Sinterklaas, Sin, Santa, Sinta. A lot of these names are very similar. The newspaper of the Austrian Catholic Union called for a Krampus boycott, and the government of Lienz, the capital of East Tyrol, forbade Krampus dances and further mandated that all aspiring St. Nicholases must be licensed by the city. They also pledged to arrest Krampus whenever they saw him. Though it didn't rise to the level of a ban, in 1953, the head of Vienna's kindergarten system also published a pamphlet calling Krampus an evil man and warning parents that celebrating him could scar their children for life. That's pretty funny, right?
I don't know about funny, but it's kind of messed up.
All right, are you ready to jump into the Satan Santa conspiracy?
Sure, let's do it.
So, are you ready, Maxwell? Is Santa Claus Satan's cause?
Okay.
The modern day Santa Claus is an American version of St. Nicholas, a 4th century Roman Catholic bishop from Asia Minor who was noted for his good deeds and gift giving. The tradition first spread throughout Europe and then found its way to America by the early Dutch settlers. However, God's word warns us to beware of tradition. Colossians 2:8. We shouldn't be surprised to find the devil right in the middle of the world's most celebrated holiday. Lucifer's desire has always been to dethrone God and exalt himself. Isaiah 14:12-15. He desires worship. Luke 4:7. And Thessalonians 2:3-4. So, also in a lot of these conspiracy theories, Satan always comes in the name of good. So, is Santa Claus good? Is Satan pretending to be good to spread his influence? So here are some of the arguments for Santa being Satan. Well, first of all, Santa is an acronym for Satan. And in a lot of these Illuminati conspiracy theories, acronyms and symbology are critical. And there's actually quite a few studies in psychology that shows that the effect of the brain, the letters don't have to be in order for the brain to process information. And I'm sure you've even seen those things online. Can you read this? Where it's a whole bunch, it's like a paragraph and it looks like nonsense. And
Yeah, yeah, I sent you one.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, there's this whole paragraph where
So
all the words are
is
jumbled and
there
you can
some
still
kind
read
of
it.
satanic conspiracy where Satan and demons can leech off your energy by you paying homage to them or giving them your energy? Because when you're praising Santa or you're loving Santa, you're actually loving Satan, because even though the letters are in different order, your subconscious mind still partakes in this satanic worship. Any thoughts on that, Maxwell?
That's very interesting. That's a real possibility.
So, a couple other things. Is Santa pretending to be Jesus as part of this ruse or scam to siphon worship? So, is Santa eternal? Has Santa always existed? Santa's basically immortal, right? He's always a fat old guy. Like, it's not like he just started one day and it's not like he's going to stop one day. He's portrayed as eternal, right?
That's interesting. It's not like we're not gonna have Santa Claus in 100 years from now. That's interesting.
And let's look at Revelations 1:8. Jesus Christ is eternal. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. Jesus is eternal. Santa is eternal. Santa Claus hails from the North Pole, a place above the world, as in the realm of heaven. And the Heavenly Father is, of course, in heaven. Does Jesus watch over all of us from heaven? So here's where it gets a little tricky, too. So even though red is the devil's color, Jesus Christ also supposedly is associated with the color red from Revelations 19:13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. I don't know, he's depicted as wearing white, but I don't know, that one might be a little bit of a stretch. So this one's also a stretch. Santa has white hair. Jesus Christ also has white hair. Revelations 1:14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as flame of fire. Here's a general one. So Jesus Christ ascended, and he gave gifts unto men. Ephesians 4:7-8. But unto every one of us is given grace according to the measure of the gift of Christ. Wherefore he saith, when he ascended up high, he led captivity captive and gave gifts unto men. And then, of course, Santa Claus flies around in his sleigh giving gifts. So here's another one, kind of strange. Santa is coming soon. So during the Christmas season, it's emphasized many times, Santa is coming, Santa is coming. Well, Revelations 22:20. He which testifieth these things saith, Surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come, Lord Jesus. And when Jesus will come again, be resurrected. Well, he was resurrected, came again, and the return of the Messiah will be imminent as well. So, another one that is very, very interesting is Santa knows whether you're naughty or nice, right? He's omniscient. How does he know this information? He just knows. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. That's Proverbs 15:3. Then we have Matthew 9:4. And Jesus, knowing their thoughts, said, Wherefore think ye evil in your hearts? Another connected one to that is that Santa is everywhere, kind of like God. So he visits billions of homes within 24 hours. So how many thousands of homes is that per second? Maxwell,
It's
have
pretty
you done
fast.
Maxwell, have you done the Santa
Rudolph
Claus
is flying fast. What?
have you done the Santa Claus math?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Rudolph flies at the speed of sound. I mean, that's the speed of light.
that still wouldn't be fast enough.
Really? Yeah, guess not.
Well, not
Because
to
that's like a
mention
blink. Like you blink and he's delivered your shit.
Well, not to mention how strong is Santa and his magic reindeer to be able to carry billions of gifts of various sizes? Or does he return to the North Pole to refuel and like to restock the gifts? Because like how or does he have a infinite sack where he has all of the gifts? It's like a bottomless pit where he could just pull out endless gifts.
I think he duplicates himself like to each individual, so he just duplicates to a billion Santas and then just does it in 1 second.
In either case, Matthew 28:18 says, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. So Santa is all powerful that he is able to do this. He has God-like powers. Are you supposed to be worshiping and celebrating Santa Claus, or is all worship reserved for only the Most High? Once again, this is not a podcast about the existence of God or Santa Claus. It is a podcast of ideologies. The religious people who are giving their energy to Santa Claus, their praise and love, should that only be reserved to the Most High in their religion? Or in any religion, actually, this is beyond religion. If we're talking about an archon demonic conspiracy that is leeching off the energy of your thoughts, even if you're not religious and you celebrate Christmas, if this conspiracy is true, are you a pawn, an unwitting pawn in this game of satanic worship? Let's get into the Webster definition of an elf. Do you know how an elf is defined?
Yeah, how's the elf defined?
As a spirit or a nightmare, a ghost, a hag, or a witch.
Damn.
So Santa has all these elves helping him. Are these demonic entities that are assisting Satan himself masquerading as Santa Claus?
Damn, so weird.
The conspiracy runs deep, Maxwell.
I'll stick with the Christmas tree and the fucking gifts, and I'm good. Santa could go, in his little sleigh and with Rudolph and fly away somewhere else.
Elves are also defined as preternatural beings with magical powers that are mischievous in human affairs. So, Christmas is very, very occult, is it not?
Very cult like, a cult like, yeah.